Newbie J here. This is our CSS selectors number 2. We'll be going over more CSS selectors and more. So what we'll be going over this time is we'll be going over the pseudo selector element not selector, ninth child, the ninth last child, ninth last of type, universal operator, a descendant combinator, and an example of parent-child, grandchild relationships in a visual form. So we got live server going. Let's check this out here. So we have the not selector is what we're using, okay? So set a style for all elements that are not a P element, okay? So what we have here is we got a P element, which is a paragraph. We got this header 1 tag, which is the header element. We got another paragraph element. We got this paragraph element. And we got a div tag. And we got an A tag, which is a hyperlink. And a hyperlink works just for good reference. So we were selecting all P elements that are not a P element. Okay. So what this will do is it will select every element that is not a paragraph element. And that will look like this. So let's see the style. Alright. So here we go. We're targeting this section with the class not. And then we're using the pseudo selector, which is the 2 dots, and then the not, and then what we're not selecting, which would be the paragraph element, which is P, and then whatever is not the paragraph element, we change to blue. So we have this is a heading, that'll be changed to blue, okay. This is some text in a div element, so that will be blue. That's an A tag, which is a hyperlink, and that'll be blue. This is a paragraph, this is a paragraph, and this is a paragraph. So there will be no changes to it. Now on to ninth child. Ninth child here. So the ninth child, in brackets N, selector matches every element that is the ninth child of its parent. N could be a number, a keyword, odd or even, or a formula like A plus AN plus B. So what we're doing here is we're using a couple examples. So we got our ninth child, which is using our paragraph. Actually no, we got our divs. So we got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 divs and an unordered list. We got a paragraph tag in each div. Okay. So what we're doing is which is the same thing. It'll be a div. Okay. We're selecting a second child in each div. Okay? And we're going to change. We're selecting the second child, which would be the second div. Okay? And this is the child of the second div. We're changing the color to aqua blue. Okay? Now, for the second one, which is the green, to select the third child. See the 3? We're using the ninth child, third. And that'll highlight the third div. So we got 1, 2, 3. This is the third child. which would be the paragraph tag here. Okay, now using a list, we're gonna highlight the second child in the list. Now you notice how I just did that, and it changed from the second to the first. So as you can see, okay, now we'll do a third, and I'll change it to that one. Okay, you see what it's doing here? All the way to the fifth. Okay, just so you can see, and the same thing for the green. Oh, wait a minute, what happened there? Why did it do that? You want to know why it did that? It did that because we're not selecting the LI element in this one. We're only selecting the ninth child, the third ninth child. Okay, so that would be this right here. Now if we change that to 4, it's gonna select the whole thing. Because that's the 4th child. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and it's the 4th. So it selects the 4th child, it highlights the whole thing. So what if we did a 5 then instead? See? All of a sudden we highlight the 5th. Why? It's because there's no 5th element, and the only 5th element is in the list. So it automatically selects it. Hope you understood that. So now the last child. So what we're going to do is select matches every element that is the ninth child regardless of type of its parent, counting from the last child. And it can be a number, a keyword, or a formula. So from the last child of this section, we would count the second from the last. 1, 2, and it highlights that color. So ninth child, okay, they're all P elements, so we select the ninth last child, 2, from P elements. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 is the last child, so 1 and 2, so that's a second from the last, and we change the color. Now the last of type selects every P element that is the second P element of its parent, counting from last child. Oh no, that's the wrong definition for that, I'm sorry. Last of type. Yes, that's last of child. But that's the second from last of child. And this is also the same thing. It will come out to the same thing just because we're selecting the second from the last. Okay, and so on. We can change that to the first one so it looks different for you. Okay, now we have our universal operator, which a lot of times you'll see star at the top of a style sheet, margin, padding 0. Okay, so I figured I'd show you what it looks like. So this is without the margin and padding 0, without the universal operator, which makes the whole page or a certain section, okay, Now with the universal operator with margin to 0 and padding set to 0, it will look like this instead. See how there's no padding on link, there's no list type mark, and it's just link? That's because of the margin 0, padding 0. It takes it out and pushes it all the way to the end of the screen. Well, to the beginning of the screen, the edge of the screen. And starts from there instead. You'll see that a lot of times at the beginning of a style sheet. Now we got our descendant combinator. Okay. That would basically mean 2 elements. Okay. So what we're doing is we got our descendant. Universal descendant. Here we go. So we have a section. This is our section. We have a div, 2 paragraphs, and inside this div is a paragraph also. Okay. So to select that paragraph inside this div, we could use target class dot combinator dot box p. So dot combinator for class dot box for the div class, and then p, which will target this paragraph right here. And you see how it's highlighted in color in the background? That would be a combinator, descendant combinator. This is the first element, which would be the parent of P, and P is the child of the box. Okay, so now I made an example of relationships, so you can have an idea, just in case you haven't seen it before. Alright, so what we have here essentially is a parent, a child of parent, grandchild of parent, and child of parent. Okay, so what this looks like is right here. Okay, we have our div element, which is the parent, and then we have a child, which is another div element, and we have 2 child paragraph elements. Okay, so the div and 2 paragraphs. This is a div, and then 2 paragraphs are childs of the parent section. They're the child of aqua. Okay, the purple is a child of aqua, and now we have our P element, which is the child of the div. Okay, so we have our green, which is the P element, is a child of purple or / div. Okay, or it's the grandchild of the parent. So this would be the green would be the grandchild of aqua. Okay, so purple, child of aqua, green, grandchild of aqua, purple, child of aqua, child of aqua. So parent Dave had 3 kids named Purple. Purple, 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 3 kids. Okay, purple 1, purple 2, purple 3. Purple 1 then had a child named Green. You get what I'm saying? Hope you understood this. Thank you for taking a look. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Subscribe, hit the like button. Give me some feedback. Thank you. UBJ out.